take note of Class C violations that I've given.
No, I don't care about Class C.
Right.
No, I don't care.
He does not have any open
Nope.
cases
Okay.
at the moment.
Got it. All right, Mr. Lundy, I'm going to find there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only condition I'm placing on you now is you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, you may not drive. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. Just stay in contact with Will. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. I'll have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we get your conditions. You'll sign it and then you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores, Thomas Flores.
You need a translator? Translator?
No.
Okay, are you ready?
Sure.
Let's roll. Let's roll, nerds. All right, you're Thomas Flores?
Sure.
Mr. Flores, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Okay.
On March 11th, 2025, officers observed a vehicle speed past their vehicle, shaking the patrol vehicle due to the high rate of speed and run a red light. The officer observed vehicles traveling on the green light slam their brakes to avoid hitting the defendant. The officer also observed the defendant weave in and out of lanes 3 times without signaling. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer advised the defendant he was being detained for reckless driving. The assistant district attorney accepted the charges and the defendant was advised that he was being placed under arrest and needed to exit the vehicle. The defendant refused to exit the vehicle and stated the officers would have to break the glass to remove him. Officers made entry into the defendant's vehicle and placed the defendant in custody.
By chance, you know how fast? Does he say? Because he says a high rate of speed so fast that the car shakes.
Yes, and that's all they have in the DIM summary, Your Honor. And then it's him running the red light, causing people with the green light having to slam on their brakes.
Okay. Mr. Flores, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run his license, please?
Yes. His driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to drive in this manner again. If I see you drive like a complete maniacal person, I'm going to take your privilege drive away, and then I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand? I will protect my street at all costs. If that means putting you in there with an extremely high bond, I'll do it in a heartbeat. No reckless driving, street takeovers, donuts, anything of this nature. Do you understand? You are also not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name as well. All of these are your bond conditions. We'll have you sign these bond conditions now. You pick up a new case if I find out anything. Do you understand? Now, because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with counsel. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, you pick up a new case, you act like a bonehead. It's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Senor.
All right, I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you meet take a seat in the jury box when we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
So do you mind filing those conditions?
Did you want the case number?
Yeah.
5552528. Lundy, come on up.
Morning, Your Honor. This way. That way.
Well, good morning. Top of the, it's Friday Eve.
Yes, happy Friday.
Wednesday.
Did you get it, the cost number?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Lundy. Sir, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 12th, 2025, at approximately 4:45 p.m., an officer was dispatched to an FSGI call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to the complainant, who stated he was traveling north on FM when a vehicle crashed into his vehicle. The driver then fled the scene without exchanging information. Complaining witness to the passenger stated that they were rear-ended, causing the defendant's vehicle to crash into a ditch. Defendant then approached them to check on their welfare, and once he saw they were unharmed, the defendant fled the scene on foot. The officer observed significant rear end damage to the complainant's vehicle. The complainant provided a description of the defendant and the officer ran the license plate and found the registered owners were Michael Lundy and Dylan Lundy. On March 13th, 2025, the officer received a call from Dylan Lundy, who wished to provide a voluntary statement regarding the incident. The defendant admitted to crashing into the complainant's vehicle and to fleeing on foot because he believed he had an open warrant for failure to appear for a window tint violation. The complainant positively identified the defendant by photograph. The estimated cost to repair was over $200 as the complainant believed their vehicle was totaled.
Okay. Can you run his license, please? And does he
Yes.
have any open cases anywhere? If you can run an NCIC.
His driver's license is eligible, and I normally don't take note of Class C violations, but I do.
No, I don't care about Class C.
Right.
Didn't,
Um,
no, I don't care.
He does not have any open
Nope.
cases
Okay.
at the moment.
Got it. All right, Mr. Lundy, I'm going to find there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only condition I'm placing on you now is you are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, you may not drive. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I will waive your appearance because you have a lawyer. Just stay in contact with Will. He'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. I'll have you sign a receipt, Victoria. We'll have you take a seat while we get your conditions. You'll sign it and then you'll be free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
Don't pick up any new cases.
Yes, sir.
Is that pre-trial bond conditions?
State's conditions.
Okay.
Okay,
Next is
so-
on page 12. Howard, come on up.
Can you file those, please?
Yeah.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, Judge. How are you?
Good.
Good.
What was the last name?
Howard,
Okay,
page 12.
there we go. Right. Good morning, Ms. Howard. Ma'am, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, ma'am.
On March 16th, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle driving the wrong way on Durham Drive in Harris County, Texas. The officer asked the defendant to step out of the vehicle. The officer observed the defendant to have bloodshot eyes and the moderate odor of alcohol emitting from her. The defendant stated she was coming from Clutch Bar and had one shot. The defendant stated her GPS told her to go the wrong way. SFSTs were conducted. 4 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 3 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn, and 1 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read, and the defendant consented to providing a breath sample. The results were .119 and .123.
Okay, Ms. Howard, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you mind running to see if she has any priority to be honest, please?
Yes, Judge.
And a license?
She does not, and her driver's license is eligible.
Okay. I am ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal. You will be randomly tested. If I find that you're using, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand, ma'am? You have a lawyer, he'll help you out. Just stay out of trouble. Don't pick up any new cases. If your license does get suspended, you may not drive and Con will keep you in the loop. For now, I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. We'll have you get your conditions with Felicia and then you're free to go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have fun. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Judge.
Page 16. Phillips, come on up.
Morning, Judge.
Hi. You say 16? Okay.
Phillips.
Good morning, Mr. Phillips.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On March 12th, 2025, at approximately 9:25 a.m., an officer was conducting a stationary traffic enforcement on a public roadway of the 7,000th block of IH 610 southbound in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a red Ford pickup truck traveling at a high rate of speed with heavy traffic and the posted limit was 60 miles per hour. The officer witnessed the pickup truck bypassing other motor vehicles, weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds and coming dangerously close to other motor vehicles, with other drivers having to brake to avoid collisions as the Ford cut in front of them recklessly. The officer witnessed the pickup make multiple unsafe lane changes. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer reached speeds up to 110 miles per hour to catch up with the truck, but the pickup continued to distance itself from the patrol vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant, driver, and sole occupant. The defendant admitted, "I know I was driving like an idiot. I just got off work." The defendant acknowledged he was aware that he could have caused an accident and hurt someone.
Mr. Phillips, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. If I find that you drive like this again, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will protect my street at all costs. If that means putting you in jail with a $500,000 bond, I'm going to do it in a second. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anymore, I will also take your privilege to drive away from you as well. Can you look to see if he has a license?
Yes, his driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, and that is also now a condition of your bond. No reckless driving, maniacally driving, donuts, street takeovers, anything of this nature. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will sign conditions to this, and after that, you'll be free to go. You have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. Just keep my street safe, man. Every day we have people dying. It's not fair. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, come on.
Thank you, Judge.
Right this way. All right, Judge, next is page 1, Al Bardon. Come on up.
All right, house May 20th. I'm going to get started.
I can work right there. Stand right here in the middle. I'm the judge.
All right, go ahead and have some.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You can call Flores up now if you want to sign conditions as well. Sign those. What page did you say?
Page 1, top of page 1.
You were Mr. Albardon? Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thomas
On
Flores?
March 12, 2025, an officer responded to a weapons disturbance call at a residence in Katy, Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the witness who stated the defendant, her brother, and the complainant, her sister, were inside the residence and were involved in a verbal disturbance. The witness believed the defendant walked upstairs to retrieve a firearm during the altercation, which caused her to walk out of the residence and call 911. The witness, the complainant and the defendant were eating at the dinner table, and the defendant told the complainant that he will shoot the complainant and the complainant will need to leave the residence. The complainant stated that she lives at the residence with the defendant. The complainant stated the defendant got into a verbal altercation with their father, and the defendant stated that he was the man of the house. The defendant attempted to slap the complainant in her face, and the complainant moved her head back, causing her hijab to fall off her head. The defendant told the complainant he would grab a gun, hold her down, and shoot her. The defendant would see that the complainant would not be in the residence. The complainant stated she felt in fear when the defendant threatened to shoot her.
Mr. Alvardon, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. A protective order has been issued in this case that identifies Ms. Lubna as a protected individual. Get to know this protective order, because if you do something to violate it, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. And it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. Do you understand? One of the things is this comes with a residential restriction that you're not allowed within 200 feet of the Park Fair Courthouse. Do you understand? If you go back to this place, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? How old are you, sir? How much? 33. Do you work? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? So what I'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me. I need to know whether you can qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Any allegation of alcohol or Mackenzie, any alcohol or any dope or anything like
No
that?
allegations of alcohol.
Okay. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm also ordering you not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I'll provide you a lawyer today and we can talk about how we go forward, but just be careful. I don't want to have to put you in jail. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving me an application? Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.